to It's On Halifax with your hosts, Mark Adam and Pat King. It's On Halifax is brought to you by A2 Canada and Oasis on Spring Garden Road.
Hello and welcome to another episode of It's On Halifax. I am one of your hosts, Mark Adam, and joining me as per normal is the other co-host of this thing that we do.
I wouldn't say quite normal, but Pat King. Pat King HFX on Twitter.
Yeah, so thank you for joining us. Again, we're without our controller, Emily.
Which is sad because that's why we are a little bit late starting because we're idiots.
And I just got a text from my mom who says, yeah, you guys really need her.
Yes, we do.
We know.
I know.
We know. Emily, when you watch this episode, or if you happen to be tuning in live, where are you?
We missed you.
I know. I have to do all this stuff, and then I'm trying to think of stuff to say, and then wait, what? Oh, I get distracted. Yeah, so it's not an ideal situation for us. And, yeah. So
I think we'll manage, though.
We will manage. We'll be fine.
We're grown men.
So, we missed last week because it was Christmas, and just you fucked off to Cape Breton, and...
I did. I mean, we could have made it happen, but it just would have been a pain in the ass.
Wow, the work.
I mean, the holidays, like...
And again, no Emily, and... But
yeah,
anyway, here we are.
As well. Yeah.
So we got 2 weeks worth of shit to talk about.
I don't remember what the hell happened during Christmas.
Good Christmas then?
Yes.
Good and drunk?
Yeah. It was a Cape Breton Christmas. It's proper.
Well, yeah, I guess that's to be expected. So you went home to visit the folks for the holidays.
Yep.
How was that?
I got drunk for 3 days and slept on a couch. We had turkey dinner.
So
It's pretty standard.
Yeah, typical Cape Breton affair.
Yeah, stopped by my brother's house, and he made the most ridiculous eggnog I've ever had in my life. Had 8 ingredients in it.
He made eggnog?
No, but he made an eggnog, like a drink. Yeah, with 8 different kinds of liquor. It's just eggnog and 8 different kinds of liquor. 9, because I added absinthe to mine.
Eggnog to take the edge off.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
Pardon me.
It was ridiculous.
As you can tell, I'm sick. I've been sick since the weekend before Christmas. So I've just been no touching.
Muffins.
No touching.
Muffins.
No touching. Yeah, so I've been sick since then. So it's been one of those kind of crappy but not crappy Christmases. You know, you're just suffering through the illness. You know, making it through. And contrary to popular belief, Christmas is not one of those very relaxing.
No, hell, most of the time I just suffer through Christmas.
Yeah, like Christmas is a very busy time for most people. It's hectic, it's stressful, a lot going on. Usually, especially in the industry that I work in with the bar, and you know, there's a lot of loneliness out there that needs booze.
True enough. It can be a very lonely time of year.
There's a lot of that. So, yeah, it was pretty stressful, but it was good. It was good, really good. And yesterday, I actually hosted my family for Christmas. I made dinner. I made spaghetti and stuff. It's the first time I've hosted my family ever.
Since you moved out of your house originally, is what you mentioned, right?
Yes, since I ceased living with my parents. That is the first time that I've had my family over for a big dinner. So my mom and my dad and my sister and her husband and their kids. They got 2 kids and family friend of my mom's.
Interesting.
It was really good times, and it's just really stressful getting it all together.
Yeah. But now we've got New Year's, which is the less stressful of the holiday events.
Well, yes, because, unless, again, you work in the industry. But I'm lucky enough that I'm not working New Year's Eve. I am, however, working Monday morning. And by morning, I mean we open at noon. So I'll be there for noon.
Yeah, I have a 4 to midnight shift on New Year's Day.
4 to midnight.
Yeah, which is great because I get to sleep in after
Until 4,
getting
yeah.
trashed.
Yeah, that works.
I'll probably head down to Andrew Bush's place.
I have I have tickets to that forum party. That party at the Halifax Forum for New Year's.
Oh yeah,
I got tickets to that. So
I've never been to any of those big
me neither. So
New Year's Eve parties.
I'm trying to figure out if I want to go or if it's going to be one of those where you show up and you're like, holy amateur hour, and then leave. You know how like St. Patrick's Day and New Year's Eve bring out the amateur drinkers.
Mm-hmm.
The drinkers that don't know how to drink. You know,
the ones who spill shit on you and
yell
and they're
like,
belligerently
I'll never
loud.
leave the house to drink. I'm like, we liked it that way.
Yeah, please go back there.
Yeah, I don't.
You know, you can't walk
You
into the
didn't throw
bathroom
up
to
on
take
my
a
shoes.
piss. Yeah, you can't take
You
a
know.
piss without stepping in vomit.
Oh, it's fucking New Year's Eve and Saint, like I said, St. Patrick's Day are the two gong show drinking days that professional drinkers like you and I abhor.
Yup. Yeah, that's why I like house parties a little better.
Yeah, a little more controlled atmosphere.
So long as everybody has their shit together at a house party, you're good.
Yeah. I agree.
And Andrew bought almost $200 worth of fireworks, so that should be fun.
That sounds like fun.
Yes, yeah, it'll be good to catch up with him. I haven't seen him since I graduated film school.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
And this is Andy Bush.
Of Picnic Face. Yeah.
Of Picnic Face, Andy Bush. That's what I thought. That's fun. That is fun. You know what else I love about the holidays?
Oh?
Every Boxing Day, the World Junior Hockey Championships start.
This is true, and you guys are open for those this year, aren't you?
We are at the Oasis, and that's a big deal, I guess, in the news. I've been interviewed by CBC a couple of different times, one for the CBC Nova Scotia, one for the national news. I've been in the Chronicle Herald. I actually was in the paper yesterday.
Should have plugged the podcast. Come on.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. No, I wish that was the possibility, but it's essentially what's happening is we are we got an extension of a license so that we can actually serve alcohol at 5 a.m. should Canada end up playing in the semifinals at 5 a.m. on January 3rd, as well as the either the bronze medal game or the finals on January 5th. So whatever game Canada ends up playing in, we're going to open for. So if that ends up being 5 a.m., we're open at 5. So we're pretty lucky that way. And I'm really excited about it.
I'm really excited about the breakfast buffet.
Yeah, there's a breakfast buffet. It's all you can eat. It's going to be pretty fucking good. Yeah, you want to be there. And the Oasis is the best place to watch any of those kinds of games anyway, right? Like we've done a lot of different things at the Oasis, you know, for big games, Canada in the Olympics, Canada in the World Juniors, you know, and any of that stuff. The Super Bowl is always a huge deal. The playoff finals, you know, in the Stanley Cup finals are always huge at the bar. And the atmosphere there is just amazing. You get people who are cheering, chanting. You know, when Canada wins, they sing "Oh Canada" and the whole works, right? It's pretty freaking awesome.
That sounds... I love doing things like that. Even movies or any kind of sporting event, anything where the crowd is into it and people, you know, they get to cheering or they, you know, there's some crowd participation. That is the kind of event that you want to pay to go to, that you want to really get out of the house for. At least me, anyway.
And there is no cover to get in, for those of you wondering. There is no cover. The deal is with the World Juniors, no cover. It's all you can eat breakfast. I think it's $10, tax in, includes all the, you know, it's an all you can eat buffet with all the, you know, free coffee. But we are fully licensed, so if you wanted to buy beer, we have it available for you to purchase. And at 5 a.m., I don't know who would be drinking, but I would assume it'd be people who are still drinking from the night before more than anything else. I don't think people typically start drinking at 5 a.m. that aren't Pat.
There's been days, I guess. They're good days.
Okay, good. So yeah, but I mean, and as by the way, about the World Juniors, Canada this morning. Hopefully you've already seen it. They've replayed it once already, so I don't feel bad. So if you haven't, spoiler alert: Canada beat the U.S. this morning 2-1 in a very close, very entertaining game, and that makes 3 wins for them. They beat Germany 9-3. They beat Slovakia 3-2. or 6-3, and they beat US 2-1. Tomorrow morning at it says 9:30 our time, 8:30 Eastern, but the game won't actually start till 10. The Oasis is open at 10, so you won't miss the game if you show up at 10 o'clock at the Oasis. That game is open.
Cool.
So we'll see you at the Oasis
For Canada US
tomorrow.
And that's a game people will come out for too. Everyone loves to see Canada trounce the US.
Oh yeah. Well, no, it's tomorrow. They play. Tomorrow they play Russia.
Oh right.
Russia,
which is not going to be an easy.
Russia beat the US 2-1 in a very close game. So I'd say that, is there a favorite between Russia and Canada? Maybe not.
Well, and Russia home ice. That counts for something.
It's in Ufa.
Ooh, fuck.
Ufa, Russia. And, it's a huge Russian crowd. And, whenever Russia plays, it's packed. The fact that they're going to be playing Canada tomorrow in the primetime slot there, which makes it, 8:30 Eastern, 9:30 our time. That's huge. So I'm excited. You should be excited. If you're a Canadian hockey fan, that's really big. Also, more sports, football.
Yeah, which we're watching right now. A
lot of teams are putting their push on for the, win and hope we make the playoffs sort of game today.
Well, yeah, it's really the do or die situations for most of them at this point.
There are the odd team, however, I will say, that don't care.
Oh, yeah. They haven't clinched.
Yeah, like Atlanta.
Yeah.
They just don't care. They've clinched and they're not playing. There's some teams who can't improve or get knocked down by not winning.
Wait, they're not playing? They're just like, no, we
win. They just play
Fuck
their backup
teams.
You know what I mean? Like they play their second or third stringers.
Everyone off the bench.
Yeah.
Which is good, though. I mean, it gets them a little practice moving into the playoff season.
Yeah, and but it also makes it super hard if you're doing a pick'em pool to pick teams, because Atlanta is the best team because they keep winning games.
But they're playing with all their third stringers.
Well, exactly. And I think they lost,
and they don't give a fuck going into
I'm pretty
the game.
sure they lost to Tampa Bay today. I'm not positive.
That's kind of rough.
Last time I saw the score on that game, they were losing. So clearly, they didn't give a shit. And of course, you got the Bucks who aren't going to make the playoffs regardless, and they're playing for pride and for contracts, and you know what I mean. So, it's it's really hard if you're doing a pick and pool to pick games that are going to pan out. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the Super Bowl and the football playoff season.
Well, yeah, there's so many good teams, and there's so many surprise teams. Like Seattle came out of nowhere this year with rookie quarterback Russell Wilson, and there's all this talk about Rookie of the Year awards and them all handing out all that stuff. But everybody's talking Luck and RG3, Luck and RG3, Luck and RG3. But I mean, come on, Russell Wilson drafted 79th. He was drafted in the third round.
Wow.
And as a rookie, he took the Seattle Seahawks into the playoffs.
Who knew he was going to be a sleeper hit,
Well, that's what I mean. Like, you expect that from Andrew Luck and from RG3, who went first and second in the draft. You expect that. You don't expect that from a third-round draft pick in Seattle, where Seattle hasn't been good ever.
I'm always a sucker for an underdog, too.
Well, yeah, but I mean, they're good this year. And the last 3 games that they played, the last 3 weeks, they outscored their opponents like 158 to, I don't know, it was like 32 or something. Like,
very nice.
They won one of their games 58-0.
Wow.
And then,
that's not even a game. Who were they playing?
I forget who they were playing that. Was it the Eagles? I forget.
Nobody good, obviously.
Well, I think it was the Eagles, hence why Andy Reid's probably going to get fired.
Yeah.
They lost again today, 42-7 or something.
Yeah, that's...
They got blown the fuck out.
That's not good.
Yeah. he's on his way out, and he knows it. Everybody's been talking about it for the last 3 weeks. How, are they going to fire Andy Reid before the season's over? They're going to wait for the season to end. It's like, well, their season's already over anyway, so they might as well just wait for the official end. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
We'll see that press conference where he gets his ass canned.
Well, he had a press conference after the game today, and he made a lot of comments like, I respect this team, I love Philadelphia, and blah, blah, blah. So, it is what it is, but that's where we sit at the moment. What do you look forward to when the holidays come around? What's your biggest,
all the specialty liquors that come out.
The specialty liquors.
Spicebox came back. I finally found it in a liquor store. Spicebox whiskey. It's a spiced whiskey that I associate with Christmas now, because last year I just fucking drank I don't know, half a dozen bottles of it in 2 months. It's just delicious. I mean, delicious. If you like vanilla, if you like whiskey, it was just sweet enough. But around Christmas, I mean, now that there's snow, there's actually the possibility that, snowman building or sledding and things can happen. I haven't done that in forever.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm going to Citadel Hill and get some sledding in? Fuck yeah. Why not?
Why not?
Besides the fact that Citadel Hill pretty well ends in roads at the bottom of every part of it.
Yeah, you got to be careful there.
Yeah.
The other there is the side that comes down into the Wanderers ground area.
Right. That'll work.
That's a huge hill too.
And I bet it'd be pretty well packed with people when it's sledding conditions, which I think it'd be probably pretty good right about now.
Well, yeah, it depends on how many people are sledding out there, because I think it's pretty slushy. So it'd be like sliding down mud at the moment.
Yeah, but as far as holiday seasons go, no, I'm not really into holidays very much anymore.
Well, I think that's a product of growing up. Is the mystery's gone from it. We know Santa's not real. Oops, don't let your kids listen to this.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. Yeah. So I mean, you know what I mean? A lot of that's gone. And
well, yeah. I personally was preoccupied with the financial burden, and I'm gonna have to go home and see the family and
the obligation,
all the social obligations with people you like, extended family and things like that.
The obligation is the worst, I find.
Yeah.
The whole, I'm going to buy a present because, it's like, who do I have to buy a present for? Oh my God, if I don't get them one, are they going to get me one? And So I just tell everybody, don't get me a fucking present.
Yeah, I've opted out of the whole situation myself as well.
And as a result, my family, like I said before, they do a Secret Santa.
Oh yeah, that
and
works.
That's a way of them reaching out to me, because they realize, that the way that society, and I'm not a freaking hippie or anything, but the way that society views most holidays, Christmas in particular, is give, consume.
He's not a hippie, but he just sounds and smells like one.
Ouch.
Ooh.
I don't. Okay, you got me there, but yeah. So,
but even you go past Christmas and you get to New Year's, everyone expects you to go out, and everyone expects you to pay a premium. Most of the bars that you never pay cover at any other time of the year are charging, $25-$35 a pop for tickets to these big New Year's Eve events, and then, you spend another $50 on drinks, and, I've avoided it all this year by working the entire holidays. I
don't mind so much the social obligations, like, let's get together.
Not for New Year's, no. New Year's is just visiting friends for me. I'm going to go from house party to house party, seeing as many people as I can, catching up, and like I'd mentioned, maybe popping into Andrew Bush, who was kind enough to extend me an invitation to his party, and maybe putting some groundwork down for what 2013 might be, Get back into that whole situation, catch up with some friends from film school, and really make it about how I plan to conduct the rest of my year.
That's fair. Like I said, for Christmas for me, the most exciting parts of it are the World Juniors that start on Boxing Day. It's the best hockey. And this year in particular, where there's no NHL and people are hockey starved, it's especially important.
Yeah, it's huge.
But that said, I look forward to this every year.
Yeah. Well, and I guess another thing I would look forward to is the Steam sales. If for
Video
those of you
games,
listening
yeah.
who don't know, Steam is an online marketplace run by Valve, a game development company, and they have just ridiculous sales. I got a $25 gift card, one of those prepaid visas for Christmas, and I bought, I think it was like 6 games for $25, mostly from independent developers, at $2-3 a piece. I bought the entire 5-episode Walking Dead Telltale series for $12.
That's pretty good.
It's crazy good. I love that kind of thing, and you can, and the sale comes around more than once a year. I mean, they have sales for just about everything, but they're particularly good this time of year. And it's a great way to gift, which I found out you can gift to people so long as they have a Steam account and you have their information. You buy a $3 game, send it to them. You buy a $10 game, send it to them, and you just automatically gift it to somebody, and it sends them the little code, and they put it in, and you can.
It's same as I don't like the whole having to buy people presents and this, that, and the other thing.
I don't like having to, but
if I see something and I'm like, oh, they would really appreciate this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, and I made a comment on Twitter, I made a joke about, say what you want about Celine Dion, but you won't at least one of her Christmas albums. And, you know what I mean? Because her Christmas album is the only reason to pay attention to Celine Dion ever.
Yeah.
It's, I love Christmas music. People think I'm a Grinch, but I'm not. I fucking love Christmas. I just hate the consumerism because it costs, it's just, and it's not even I hate the consumerism just by itself.
It's just so
it
in
costs
your face.
me so much money to be a fucking consumer. And it's just stupid. So anyway, my mom commented back saying, I don't have it. And so I bought it for her on iTunes and I gifted it to her.
Well, there you go.
Same deal as Steam, right? Digital gifts are a lot of people don't think, hey, this would be a good idea.
Well, because most people don't think of digital things as actual things. They're not really tangible. They're just media. They're information.
That's true, but that said, they're just as appreciated.
Oh, absolutely. If you run across something that reminds you of somebody and they're gonna love it, why the hell not?
Well, I bought my mom the Celine Dion CD, the Christmas one. And gifted it to her right there on the spot. She was, she commented on Twitter, I don't have it. And I literally just tweeted back, check your email. You do now.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
That's great. And it's a great surprise too, because, you're not giving it to somebody. You don't have to go out and buy it. You don't have to hide it in a closet. You don't have to hide it in your sock drawer.
You don't have to wrap it. It's my favorite kind of gift.
Yeah, there you go. They open it up in their email and they still think, wow, that's I'm really glad he got this for me. And, I really love this. Bam. It's that easy. So I think next year, we should start a movement. All digital gift giving.
Well, there is that. At the same time, I'm a firm believer that if you are going to go out and buy gifts, you should support local. Buy local.
That's true.
Every Christmas, just buy local. It doesn't if you buy everywhere all year long, blah blah blah, whatever's cheapest, this, that, the other thing. But if you're going to gift and do the whole buy into the consumerism, at least support something local.
Well, and people wonder,
and for the most part, sustainable.
There are places you can go. For my friends, any local comic book shops, hobby shops, Video Difference is another big one, who have stood the test of time and outlasted Blockbuster. So big props to my boys at Video Difference.
VD.
Love it.
Yeah, no, I mean, the Last Game Store is, an independently owned game store, and the last of its kind, as the name might suggest.
It really is, yeah. Because you've got, they don't really deal much in used games. They deal in used vintage games.
There's no money in used games, almost.
Oh, there's all the money in used games. Look at EB. They run a business entirely based on used games.
Yeah, but the problem with them is that, brand new Halo 4, $69.99. Used Halo 4, $64.99.
Yeah, but people will still buy it.
No.
They will.
I won't. I'd rather have the warranty of the
They'll
The
still
new-
give you a warranty guarantee on a used game.
If you pay for it, you have to buy it.
Yeah, for a couple bucks, which brings you over the amount that it's going to cost you to
might,
buy a
you
brand
might
new
as well
one.
just buy the brand new one.
I actually got kicked out of an EB Games once while I was standing in line, discussing with a friend of mine how badly it hurts the industry to run a business entirely based on used games, and to reward people for trading in their games and buying used games, because you're taking money directly from the people who are developing them, because those used games stay entirely within the electronic boutiques market.
The people who made those games get no
residuals from used game sales. That's why they've been discussing now
outlawing it.
Well, not outlawing it, but just adding unique codes to every game that you have to activate when you get home that don't allow reuse. You know how sometimes you buy a game and you have a little code and you get some DLC? It would be like that, except you get the entire game.
What?
Which kind of defeats the purpose of a CD, come to think of it.
Then you're into digital media already.
Which I don't really mind, because I, like I said, do most of my game purchases through Steam now. Now that I have a computer that can play them, mind you.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, it's yeah. So well, I mean, go local when you can is the point. Like Video Difference, I mean, they have a lot of used DVDs and stuff, but they're not taking money out of anyone's pocket.
Yeah.
Also, if you can track down a vintage copy of Earthbound for your nerdiest friend, like go to the last game store. That's probably where you'll find it, or he'll order it in for you, or it's beats the shit out of going through eBay and getting ripped off.
I suppose so.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we take a quick break?
Sure.
And we'll come back and we'll talk about some other
Maybe,
holiday happenings and some...
or the UFC that we watched last night.
Ooh, yes,
which I've been excited to talk about.
We can definitely recap that.
Lovely.
So let's do that, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Thanks, folks.
You want your special day to be just right, right? Well, so did I. I called A2 Canada, and all the little details took care of themselves. An audio-video setup, photographer, and even a videographer, all working as a team to capture the memories I cared about. Oh, and I saved a bundle by getting them all in the same place. You should try it.
A2 Canada. Professionalism you can count on.
Hi, I'm Dan Soller from My Living Will. You're listening to It's On Halifax.
Oasis, epic sports pub, where you don't have to spend a lot to get a lot.
We should definitely petition some people and get some more of those short plugs, and then make our own to send to them.
Oh, yes. Agreed.
I've been meaning to catch up with Andrew Dorfman.
Pig Monkey.
Pig Monkey. Gay.
Hey there, Delilah. What's it like in New York City? Can I please touch your booby? I really love your titties. Yes, I do. Can't wait to be inside of you. My word is true.
That's awful.
You're awful.
But yeah, my brother showed me a video of this group of guys who were in Austin, Texas for a music festival. And they're playing this old tune called Mystery Train.
What?
It's an old tune called Mystery Train. I think it was originally written by Elvis's guitar player, so Elvis could do it. And it's four of the most legendary guitar players ever to grace like the whole rock and roll
Who are the best musicians out there?
Well, yeah, but they all bump into each other at this bar in Austin, Texas, and they get on stage and start playing, and it's fucking incredible. Like, it's unbelievable how good it is. There's a whole set on YouTube with like 5 songs.
Nice.
And it's totally gotten me into the blues.
Ha.
So I restrung my guitar today and immediately learned the 12-bar blues.
Yeah, blues is the easy riff.
It is the easy riff, but like it's also probably the one thing in guitar playing that you can attribute easy to learn, difficult to master. Like,
Well, yeah. You can also find it in everything.
well, yeah, but you can learn the 12-bar blues standard in a day. Boom, ba, bam, ba, boom, ba, bam, ba, bam, ba, bam, like whatever. It's super simple, but it just gets infinitely more complex.
I'm tucking my kitty in here.
Aww, who's your cake? Oh, I should totally tweet that photo.
Denver, 7-0.
He's got his head tucked in under the blanket and go psst, psst. He just tucks it right back in.
Yep, that's my kitty.
Lazy fucker.
He is a lazy fucker.
But yeah, I want you to watch this video before we start again. That's very short.
It's on Facebook?
I think so, yes. It's on my Facebook. I posted it like yesterday.
Put it in your ear holes.
That's the one. And if you read about these guys, like, their names are, like, there's a really old guy with scraggly white hair, and he's played lead guitar for Eric Clapton. Yeah. Every one of those guys is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
not good at all.
Yeah. Yeah. It was like, meh. 5 out of 10. Eh. seems extremely complex. And then I tried to learn it on the acoustic today after restringing my guitar, and it's just E A B7.
All right, are you ready?
No.
No. Duh, son of a bitch. Don't lie to me, bitch.
All right, I'm ready.
All right, good. I will.
Wait.
Don't. Well, you can't get your beer open, you son of a bitch.
Oh, fuck.
You suck.
Christ, I don't know what it is with these whites.
It's the wheat. No joke.
Now I'm ready.
Alrighty. And we are back. Thank you for joining us yet again, or for sticking with us, or
for the first time ever, if you're a first-time listener.
first-time listener, long time not knowing what we are. Well, we are. It's on Halifax, which means we talk about everything from a Haligonian perspective. We talk about local stuff, not local stuff, sports, music.
Local music.
Local music, not local music. Old people music.
Or just a bunch of crazy bullshit.
Usually it's a bunch of crazy bullshit.
Happens from time to time.
Nah.
But it's fun, because, I mean, it's life. You live it. There's lots of things in it.
As Alanis Morissette said, you live, you learn.
God damn it, I love Alanis Morissette. How good was Jagged Little Pill? Seriously. One of the best Canadian rock albums of all time. Mark my fucking words.
I don't know about that. I mean,
Shut up.
Okay.
But really, though, it was a great album.
Nah.
There weren't many bad songs on it.
I'm not an Alanis fan. I'm not a hater either.
Well, I mean, it's not like I followed her entire career. I'm just saying that was a great album.
Yeah.
From, like, as a sophomore album, when one of her first albums was just a really shitty pop album.
Yeah, I guess. It's not my cup of tea kind of deal.
Oh, that's fine.
So, well, this, by the way, is my cup of tea.
Which is a cup of tea for all of those not watching.
See what just happened there?
Cute.
Yeah, that's what I call it. So yeah, what else? We're going to talk about something. UFC.
Yeah.
UFC 155 happened last night,
Which
and,
got off to a slow start, but
the first three fights were pretty freaking slow and
I saw
uneventful.
I saw one of the most boring fights I've ever seen in a UFC event.
Yes,
at any point.
And the Yushin Okami fight was
It was meh, but I mean,
very meh.
It was pretty technical.
I'll tell you what, the fight of the night.
Miller and Lozon.
Jim Miller, Joe Lozon,
it was fucking
Jim
brutal.
Miller beat the crap out of Joe Lozon. But Joe Lozon would not stop coming at him.
I mean, he tagged him a few times. He cut him open fucking bad in the first round. Almost, well, so much so that they had, I think it was 2 referee stoppages over the course of the match, and then 1 stoppage to retie one of Lozon's gloves.
Oh, they had to cut pieces off, yeah, because it was...
Yeah.
It was
which,
bad.
you know, at one point, when they cut off the errant piece of tape from his glove and retied them, he was actually in a decent position to throw Miller into submissions. I mean, those stoppages kind of threw him off a little bit, I feel.
Well, he was bleeding like a stuck fucking pig.
He was. I've never seen that much blood in a UFC match. I mean, it was pretty close. By the 3rd round, he was slipping in puddles of his own blood. And, you know, no one was going to get a submission because there was just so much slick blood everywhere.
Yeah, it was like an oil spill. They were fighting in a red oil spill.
He did land a couple of his own shots. Miller was bleeding from the face.
Oh yeah, I mean it wasn't like
at points. It was
like
hard to tell though because there was just so much of Lozon's blood everywhere.
yeah, and Miller owned that fight. He controlled that fight. There was only a couple of times where Lozon even looked like he might do anything, but he just would not quit. And those are the kind of fights that, if you're Dana White of the UFC...
Oh, their bonuses were so big.
That's what you want.
Their bonuses, they got fucking paid last night.
But I mean, even if you lose, if you're Joe Lozon and you lose a fight like that, nobody cares that you lost that fight because you laid it out there.
Oh yeah, no,
You know?
that's actually going to do more for his career than a win would have in a lackluster fight.
Because there were 3 fights where people won that I was just unimpressed.
Because immediately Dana White's just like, I want you back in that cage.
Yeah, well, it's like Clay Guida. He only wins 50% of his fights, if that. But he leads with his face.
Yes.
He blocks punches with his forehead.
And that's not smart fighting. Now, Lozon I've got a lot more respect for because he's not out there looking to get hurt. He's just aggressive. He just continues moving forward no matter what. And, sometimes that's not the greatest of strategies, but it works for him most of the time. He's got explosive power. He's a finisher, He wins a lot of his matches in the first round, and so does Miller. But they didn't get tired like all the other guys who started with an explosive first round. They kept the pace up really well. And speaking of keeping up a pace, how about Cain Velasquez winning his title back in the heavyweight division?
Absolutely controlled Dos Santos from beginning to end.
Yeah, I've never seen Junior Dos Santos get quite so manhandled.
Well, the issue was for Dos Santos, he took that big shot.
Well, yeah, like I was saying when we were watching it last night, that one punch would have been enough to probably kill me. Or give me a permanent speech impediment.
But yeah.
It was like Cain Velasquez is not a small man. He might be in terms of the heavyweight division. He's 135. They were both kind of fighting around, or 235 rather.
No, Dos Santos was 239 and Velasquez was 240.
Yeah, see, and that
they're the 2 of the lighter heavyweights that you're going to find.
But again, speed kills. Cus D'Amato used to tell that to Mike Tyson all the time. Speed kills, speed kills. And those guys, those big men, can throw some combinations, some quick combinations. And they've got fast hands.
Yeah, and the switch ups and the Cain Velasquez isn't above throwing a submission on you out of nowhere.
True enough.
And he's quick enough to do it.
Yeah, because it wasn't to his benefit to be standing up with Junior Dos Santos, who's got some knockout power in his hands as well. But after he stunned him so badly in the first round, it really takes the energy out of you.
That was the story of the fight right there.
Yeah.
Because after that, it was almost like I know he hit him in the jaw, but it was like he took the breath out of him because Dos Santos had nothing in the tank after that.
Oh, no, God.
And he just got manhandled.
Well, guaranteed. It's probably just a mild concussion.
That said,
you hardly know where you're at.
You got to give Dos Santos credit because he just kept swinging till the end of the fight.
Oh, yeah. And I remember they showed both fighters at the beginning of the 3rd round, or it might have been the 5th round because it went the distance, did it not?
Oh, yeah, it went to the distance.
It was, so at the end of the 5th round, you could really see Junior Dos Santos swelling up really badly.
Yeah, and even Cain Velasquez laid down he just laid down. That was his celebration, he just laid down. Because he was fucking tired. Because
he was beat, yeah.
For all of the effort and all of the pressure he was putting on Dos Santos would not give up, and he just kept fighting back.
As opposed to Yushin Okami, who won his match by laying down.
He laid down on top of him.
He won a decision by man blanket.
Yeah.
It was, it wasn't an exciting fight by any stretch of the imagination, and by then a lot of the crowd was starting to boo because you know how UFC fans hate it when things take a lull for like 5 minutes.
There was that big flurry there where he hit Bilger with some crazy elbows and opened him up.
Yeah, and then people just started booing immediately afterward.
But in the first couple rounds there, of the Lozon Miller fight,
yeah,
Miller stopped throwing punches. He was just throwing elbows.
Yeah,
he threw a combination of like 8 elbows in a row.
Well, he was just he threw a right elbow like 5 times in a row, laying into him.
And he had
he cut him open, I think, twice.
He was cut. He was cut in 6 different spots by the end of the fight.
Fucking gross.
It was gross, and one of them was just above his eye, and
oh yeah,
it was as wide as my pinky finger.
He was wearing a red mask by the end of it. It was brutal.
Yeah, they came and wiped his eyes out, and the doctor stopped. When the doctor stopped it, they put him in the corner. They wiped his eyes, and they were like, "Are you all right?" He goes, "Yeah."
Well, obviously,
yeah.
Fuck. I had a good laugh, too, because they wiped the blood off of his face, and then he got back into the ring, and I said, wow, it's been a hell of a fight when Miller's got more of Lauzon's blood on him than Lauzon does.
Yeah.
Miller's just coated in Lauzon's blood. It looked like he Chris Liebened his hair.
Well, it looked like they just put a pool on the ground and he rolled around in it for a while.
Yeah. I was surprised that didn't stop it when Miller had him in that triangle choke and then brought it to the ground, because you could see a little puddle just kind of starting to spread under his head. And I'm like, wow, that looks like a murder scene.
But towards the end of that fight, Joe Lauzon throwing that crazy upside down leg submission.
Yeah, that flying leg sweep
from nowhere.
Yeah, he almost beat him with a knee bar.
But his own blood caused it to be too slippery.
Yeah.
It was a crazy event.
He went straight into a guillotine, and maybe if he had another 45 seconds, he could have ended it. But I mean, big up for seeing it to the end. Fighting a winning battle until the bell.
Just to bring in a little bit of a local point, it looked a lot like, and I said this last night, it looked a lot like that fight that T.J. Grant won on the last fight. In the last card he was on.
Oh, yeah.
He just beat the crap out of... I think it was Evan Dunham. And he just kept punching the guy in the face over and over and over. And the guy just stuck his tongue out and came crazy back at him.
Well, that doesn't win you fights, unfortunately.
No, but it does win you cred.
Yeah, that's true. It'll get you a bigger purse. I mean, Dana White will definitely reward
he lost
people
the fight,
for that.
but he didn't ever give up. And he never went down. Every time he got knocked down, he got right the fuck back up and just started swinging.
There's a fine line between crazy and reckless.
Well, and this Lauzon was...
Brave and reckless, rather. There's a fine line between crazy and crazy.
Well, again, and Clay Guida walks that line. He's the UFC fighter in my mind that I'm not sure if he's like a warrior or just psycho.
Just a masochist.
Yeah. Because he literally will block punches with his forehead.
I've seen
when
it
he sees the
happen.
punch coming, instead of putting his hand up, he just dunk, boom.
But that's actually a viable strategy at some points. Like in street fighting, if someone were to throw a punch at you and you block it, you just put your chin down and block it with the top of your head, they will shatter every bone in their hand.
That's fair.
But I mean, when you're wearing 8-ounce padded gloves,
not
you're
so much.
Mostly just getting a concussion.
Yeah, there's no up to that point.
Not really.
But anyway, the UFC has had a couple of flop events recently. The last one, not so much. The GSP fight was fantastic.
It was good, yeah.
And there were a couple of fights on this card that were pretty good. But I don't know where the UFC goes from here, because there's nobody left to fight Silva. There's nobody left that can fight GSP, really. If I'm GSP, I don't want to do that super fight yet, because I've just come back off of injury.
Well, where Silva has already gone through the division twice, you got to give some time. I think they're going to focus on Georges St. Pierre and his division, because he's got to really cement his dominance again.
Yeah, because he was out for over a year. It's not.
There have been a lot of changes in the roster. The rankings have changed quite a bit. So he's gonna have to. He's got a couple of new challengers to take on, and he's gonna probably work through them for a while. But I don't think we're gonna see Anderson Silva doing much of anything for the next little while. He just signed another 10-fight contract with the UFC, so obviously they're gonna keep him busy somehow. But
who's he gonna fight?
Anybody they put in front of him.
We're going back to the old school wrestling days where they had Hulk Hogan versus Joe Smith. Just some jobber in the corner that was literally just put out there to get his ass handed to him.
Pretty much. What? I mean, what do you want?
I'm just saying, where's the entertainment value in watching Anderson Silva?
That's
not be competitive.
It's not a fair thing to say, because what else is he gonna? What else are they gonna do with him? There's really nothing else that they've run out of options.
They have to move him up to the 205 weight class.
He's an anomaly. They can't move him up. He's got to move up on his own. It's got to be a decision that he makes.
But that's what I mean. If I'm Anderson Silva, other than looking for a paycheck for beating people up for a living, which essentially they've just handed him with a 10-fight contract. The only way that you're going to be more, get anywhere or move in any direction is if you move up a weight class and clean out that weight class, which he probably has the ability to. Him versus John Bones Jones would be fantastic.
Yeah, but he's got to
Because
consider
Jones is fighting Sonnen.
Not only does he and he already fucked up Chael Sonnen,
Twice.
who he fought in a catch weight, mind you, which was essentially fighting out of his weight class.
No. Chael Sonnen is a 185er. He fought at 185.
Did he?
Yeah, he's moving
I'm sure
up.
he was over
He's moving up to fight
Bones Jones.
Jones.
Huh.
Chael Sonnen is moving up.
I was sure Chael
Remember that
Sonnen was
UFC that
over.
got canceled?
Yeah.
Yeah, Chael Sonnen said, "I'll fight him."
I know, yeah,
8
I
days
remember
notice.
that. But I'm pretty sure that's why he was overweight. He was a little hefty. He didn't have time to cut.
Nah, he wouldn't.
Wait, and I mean that's not Anderson Silva fighting out of his weight class by any stretch of the imagination.
No, Anderson
But
Silva.
he did
fought
take off a guy who was he did
he
take on a guy who
fought,
was much bigger than him.
Stephan Bonner
Yeah.
at 205, and in my opinion, that was a stupid fight for Stephan Bonner to agree to, because he was going to get his ass handed to him.
Yeah.
But whatever, it is what it is.
And like I said, I mean, he's got to make the decision. He's got to consider his legacy. He's got to consider his personal health. If he moves in that direction, then he moves farther away from the Georges St. Pierre super fight.
Yeah,
So he's
Yeah.
better off just, I think, biding his time, taking on another couple of soup cans, training his ass off while Georges St. Pierre mows through the top ranking of his division, and then maybe we can think about it. I mean,
yeah, agreed.
yeah.
Anyway, let's move away from sports a bit. There was some pretty fun stuff that happened while we were away.
Oh?
One of which, do you remember the baby snatching eagle video?
Oh, yeah.
What's your take on that?
I thought it was fucking hilarious.
Is it not hilarious?
Yeah.
I think it's
I laughed my ass off.
it's so good. And when I first saw it, I admit I thought it was real. Mm-hmm. It was
Yeah, me too.
really, really well done.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think it was done for a special effects class.
It was a
visual effects class.
Montreal visual effects class, and they have a competition every year that's part of their grade called Hoax the Internet.
Needless to say, they passed.
I would, if they didn't, something is clearly wrong. And it was such a simple video.
Oh, yeah. I don't know where they found the footage.
Well, it's not hard to find a footage of an eagle swooping down and grabbing something, right? And they cut that into...
Yeah, but I mean, everything was just so perfect. The baby, like, flailing when it went up,
flopping and stuff.
and the guy running, like, I wonder if the parents in the video were actors. You know,
I don't know.
if they set up the situation and then
I'm
just
not sure.
added the eagle and the baby.
I'm sure eventually there will be like a, here's how we did it.
I would really like to see the how it was made.
How it's made. Hoaxes Unleashed or something.
The behind the scenes DVD commentary of eagle snatching baby. Look at you. You are so into this Green Bay game. It's ridiculous.
Oh, I love Green Bay. Anyway, yeah. So
We had the UFC. Yeah, it's really... What else went on with you over the past couple of weeks?
not much. I got 2 new jerseys in the mail. I ordered a Jordy Nelson jersey and a Donald Driver jersey.
Oh, yeah.
Green Bay. Both the new Nike ones, the green ones. Just like what they got on there, but the green version. So yeah, it's pretty exciting that they got here, and I have those now, and I already have my green Rogers and my white Clay Matthews. The plan, I guess, for me is to get all my favorite offensive players in green and all my favorite defensive players in white.
You're funny.
Shut up.
They said I could become anything, so I became the Green Bay Packers.
I wish that was possible.
Just wear all of the jerseys at once. I'm invincible.
I would be so warm.
Oh.
Poor decision. Yeah. So that was a pretty cool little video thing. I thought that was pretty cool. Also, if you're in Toronto and you're listening, there's on January 11th, go to the Horseshoe, see the Danger Bees and the Secret Broadcast with Daybreak Gentlemen and Convoys. Just a shout out to them, since they're former guests on the show. There's some other shows coming up from friends of the show that we will be posting on our Facebook page, so make sure that you check that out for sure. Also, I forget.
Well, the new Geeks versus Nerds is coming up in January, is it not?
Yes, and we should go to that.
Oh, absolutely. I've been still working on my my entrance essay. I hope to become a panelist.
Yeah, we should make a team.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's on Halifax versus, I don't know, background noise or something. Maybe Classy Nads.
I don't know. I think background noise totally. I don't know how into it they'd be. I know Derek would be completely into it.
Oh, Derek for sure. And even Luke and Dev would probably be into it, but what would they argue on the same side of? And that was Derek's concern, I think. That said, check them out. Go to backgroundnoise.ca. Those guys are always hilarious. They're always good for a laugh. And then there's our website. It's on halifax.ca. Geeksversusnerds.ca.
VERSUS.
Yes, geeksversusnerds.com. If you're on the West Coast, wcgeeksversusnerds.com.
West Coast.
West Coast Geeks versus Nerds is
Representing.
out there. And that's hosted by Chris Narati.
Who's,
Moo
a good friend of
Cartoon.
ours. Yeah.
The Moo Man.
The Moo Man Group.
Yeah.
Oh, man, you should totally start a band called the Moo Man Group.
I've never met anyone with as accurate an imitation of, or an impression of Kermit the Frog.
I've never heard his Kermit the Frog.
It's got to be the best. I can't imagine anyone's being better than Chris Narati's.
It's funny, that doesn't surprise me.
He's pretty good. He used to break out that character when we did improv for Pudding Room. Fantastic. So yeah, that said, let us know what you guys are doing for New Year's.
Or, well, since next week it's going to be well into January, let us know what you did for New Year's and maybe regale us with some of your more risque or hilarious stories.
Yes, and next week we'll have the final recap of the whatchamacallits?
The whatchamacallits?
The World Juniors.
Oh, drop the ball on that one.
Yeah, shut up. Sorry, football was happening and I was talking. But yeah, the World Juniors will have, because it'll be over on the 5th, and the show is on the 6th.
Oh, very nice.
And my birthday's on the 7th.
Oh, no.
Oh, no is right.
Oh, no.
I'm not sure what I'm doing yet, but I have the 8th off.
Don't do that. It's going to be another one of those nights.
What do you mean those nights?
You remember the night we went to the ale house and there was that super drunk girl? Yeah.
That was fun.
You should post that picture on the It's on Halifax page.
I should find it,
Then we can tell the story.
I should find it.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
So, long story short, people, if you're wondering, Adam pushed me into a grenade. And then was on the other side of the bar faster than I could blink. It was almost like magic. It
was pretty funny.
Yeah.
We actually brought the story up on the show the day after it happened.
Yeah, but we need the specifics. The picture needs to happen.
I gotta find it and put it up. Yeah.
Yeah, because it was funny.
Oh, it was funny. So funny.
And what do you plan to do for your birthday?
I don't know. I'm turning 30.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. When you put your head down and laughed at me, I got blinded by your bald spot.
Oh, I don't have a bald spot. It's just thinning.
Really thin.
Shut up.
Really, really thin. Just saying. I mean,
you have one too. Shut up.
I know, but I'm 30.
It's true.
How old are you?
Oh, it's funny. I said this last night because I was like, man, Junior DeSantos totally has just as much thinning hair as I do.
Yeah.
I totally don't feel so
bad. I could
bad
totally
now.
be a cage fighter. Look at that guy's hair. It's the same as mine.
Well, that and years of fight training.
Well, there's that. Yeah. All right. So join us next week. It's on Halifax on Twitter. I'm Mark Adam HFX.
Pat King HFX.
Our controller, who's not here, is Emily Jewer. Find her on Twitter and wish her a happy holidays and stuff. MJ_979.
God, that took forever.
Anyway, so check us out. It's on Halifax.ca, Facebook.com/itsonhalifax. I mean, we made it as fucking easy as we could. So comment on our Facebook page or tweet us what your plans are for New Year's, or if you're listening to this after New Year's, let us know what you did and how it went. And,
or any unique New Year's resolutions that you're
we
hoping
want to
to keep.
hear about the gong shows.
Oh, yeah, because we're going to have stories to tell.
If something went wrong,
we'll trade you story for story.
Story for story. Yes.
Maybe we'll hook up a Skype maybe, just like last time.
Maybe, yes, we'll hook up a Skype, and people can call in and tell us their stories, and we'll give away prizes for the best
that's a
for
wonderful
the best
idea.
stories.
That's a great idea.
I have some prizes. I have some stuff to give away from My Living Will. We'll get some other stuff, maybe some Oasis swag, and we'll talk to you next week. See you guys next Sunday.
Happy New Year. See you in 2013.
Happy New Year! This is the last show of the year. Oh my God!
Fuck you, Mayans.
Fuck you, Mayans.
This episode of It's On was brought to you by A2 Canada and Oasis on Spring Garden Road.